All right. It says we are live. Not, oh, I got to do the pop out first. Pop out, pop out.
Something ain't right.
What ain't right?
It's not with us.
That's because it's the little bit of delayed. If you watch that, it is always delayed.
Okay.
Now, we just got to know that our...
Ho.
Right there.
Now, hit over here.
We usually watch this. Now, is it delayed?
No.
Okay. That's what we need.
Okay.
All right, guys. Okay. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I was going to say, wait, something ain't right. I got to have it just a little bit so I can tell if I'm in the picture or not. Okay. Maybe I'm okay.
Oh, I can see you.
Can you hear us?
Sienna says, okay, good evening, everybody.
Daniel Wanda from Deep South Homestead. Hopefully you can hear us.
They said the sound is good.
Okay, so what is the picture looking like?
What's the picture look like? We're trying a new camera.
I bought a new webcam to see how... I've had it for 2 or 3 weeks and hadn't used it. Danny trimmed his beard. Did you trim? Yeah, you did, didn't you?
You don't ever notice. Well, it's been trimmed for several days.
We've been so busy, I ain't even looked at it. I'm just like, oh. Because I remember the other day going, it needs some something.
Yeah. Everybody says, looks good, everything's
Space
good.
on the right, your left. I don't know what that means. You got too much space?
Yeah. Well, what it is the screen's not
Do I
shifted.
need to go that way?
Yeah, keep on coming. Keep on.
Little bit.
You're almost there. Okay.
Is that a little better?
That's a wee bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I didn't know I had to go through some craziness with the webcam to go set it up, and I hoped it looked good, and I hoped it sounded okay.
I got me a possum right before I walked in the door, guys.
He's so happy.
I am happy. I was driving around the field and I saw them beady little eyes, and I looked and there was a deer laying on the ground. And I said, I know that's a deer. And I looked back and I said, that ain't no deer right there. And I took off running in that direction with the ranger. And when I got up there, there's a little possum just sitting up there looking at me. Well, he didn't make it, so.
Oh, Jesus wants to know, did you use some frou-frou beard balms?
Nope.
He don't use frou-frou nothing.
I don't use frou-frou nothing. What you see is what you get, you know?
That was a Flip Wilson thing, wasn't it? No, what was it? What did he say?
I don't know. I didn't watch no Flip Wilson.
I used to watch it all the time. What you see is what you... Is that a Flip Wilson thing? He had some saying like that. I can't remember. I never missed a show. I'm sorry. Nadia just canned 20 pounds of potatoes. Well, Miss Vicky says you look like he was a little tired. He's been up since, what, 4? Well, most of the night off and on he's been having some issues.
I have some issues. I was up most of, you know.
Then...
of course, I don't sleep at night anyway, hardly. So
he doesn't get a good night's
sleep. I don't get a good night's sleep anyhow. But the possum ain't going to make it no more anyway.
But the reason he was up so early is we got up and he started smoking
I started smoking bacon this morning.
And let me see if I got a picture of it.
You should have got a picture of it. I don't know if you did or not. Did you?
In the smokehouse. So
look at this here, guys. This is what I was doing today. Had bacon hanging up in the smokehouse. And when I got through smoking the bacon, we smoked a bunch more coffee beans.
The Deep South Smoky Brew. It will be available sometime next week. I have to get with Rebecca in order to get it ground and in the bags. But my back part of my, like I have a front and a back that goes on the bags for it. The back part is something I have to order and get somebody to make. Yeah, it was a Flip Wilson saying, thank you.
Hinman, K.A. Kinman says, Danny, we need some wooden fence posts. Can you recommend a place between Biloxi and Wiggins area? What's Joe's? Deep South?
Old South.
Oh, Old South. I'm Deep South. I got Deep South on my mind. Old South Feed Store is where I usually get mine at. And if I buy them in bulk, he usually gives me a pretty good deal on them. That would be Joe from Old South Feed Store in Wiggins.
Yeah.
Right out by the Stone County Fairgrounds. Like turn like you're going into Stone County Fairgrounds.
Yeah. Now then, where we at? They said, Teresa K said that is the best coffee you ever had. Y'all, don't none of them compare.
No, I gotta tell you something. Wanda and I drank some coffee this past week that cost around
Miss Gail said it was good too.
around $985 a cup
in
Dubai.
In Dubai.
Now, let me tell you something.
Now, what we got wasn't that exact coffee.
It wasn't the exact coffee, but it was the same coffee bean.
It was a geisha coffee.
A geisha coffee bean from Panama.
Yeah.
It was sent to some people by mistake, and
Silver Run Coffee Crafters.
They let us come out and taste it. And let me tell you something. That was the smoothest coffee going down I have ever drank in my life. I'm gonna tell you, I would become a coffee addict if I had that in my hands again.
No, we did not make it to Ellaville, but we've been watching the knife people.
We watched them though. We did watch them.
They are at the Knife Doctors. Isn't that where they're at? The Knife Doctor on YouTube. Yeah. And Deep South Cutlery is there. Carlisle Cutlery is in here as well. He was asked.
Yeah.
We are expecting our knives.
They are picking up our knives from Barron's.
Last night.
They picked them up last night from Barron's Sons up there. Mr. Billy and them is going to be bringing them back to us this first of the week. So this time, sometime next week, Lord willing, nothing bad don't happen, creek don't rise, and YouTube don't go away, and all this kind of stuff. We're going to have all of our knives available on our Etsy store. So we've got cherry handle straight blade or fixed blade knives. We've got pecan handle fixed blade knives, and we got cherry handle 4-inch trapper knives.
And they all have Pecan Grove emblems on them.
Yeah.
But the cherry knives.
The cherry knife.
The pocket knives.
The
In God We Trust. Is that what we put on them?
Yeah, the trapper has In God We Trust on them, and the trappers do.
Yeah. Yeah, that coffee, it was so smooth. I mean, I had almost 2.5 cups of it. I mean,
but you know what? What we figured out about this coffee? This coffee puts you to sleep. It don't wake you up.
Yeah.
Everybody who we've seen drink it have sitting there after they get through drinking it. They're like, oh, God, I so feel
Yeah,
sleepy.
we let Jennifer try some yesterday.
My daughter Jennifer came and drank some in the middle of the day, and she got.
Her both was about.
Her and Wanda both got sleepy. Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome though. That is, they give the good stuff to people that can afford it. Just saying. So, because we couldn't afford $100 a pound.
Right. Yeah, Feast of Tabernacles 2027. I'm very familiar with the WWW. I know some Hebrew. I studied Hebrew. I know that the numerical value of it is 666. But everybody calls it World Wide Web. But if you're looking at the numerical value of it from the Hebrew standpoint, it is 666. I don't think it's the mark, though. I'll tell you that. It may be a runner-up or a leader to it or something like that, but it's not the mark of the beast.
I was looking.
Yeah, 3D Homestead said it's a good napping coffee.
All right, somebody asked about the grandbaby. That is Ethan.
There he is.
He looks like every other baby at that age, don't he?
Yep. Almost bald-headed, ain't got no teeth. He's just like all other little kids.
He looks like Patty right now. He has some of Jesse in him, but he still, to me, he looks like Patty. I can't get over. There's a spider on your head, guy on the right. Is there a spider on your head? No, actually move your head a little. Probably that's what you're seeing is the crosses up there. And they probably need to be at a different angle so it don't look like you got something sitting on your head.
I don't know.
Let's see. Why does it have to get so dark so early? I'm out of whack. Oh, me too.
Oh, well, Old Dominion, let me tell you something. It gets dark a lot later where you're at than it does where we're at. By 5 o'clock here, it's pitch dark.
And it's messing with us.
Yeah, and when I lived up in Connecticut, at 5:30, 6 o'clock, it still wasn't dark.
Well, this afternoon at 4:30, I went and started getting stuff ready to fix supper, and I turned around and looked at the clock, and I'm going, it's 4:30. Wait. And I put everything back up, and I said, we are not eating at 5 o'clock, because we usually eat about 6 or 6:30. And I'm like, no way am I going to cook at 4:30 in the afternoon. So I put it up.
Well, it was almost dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was starting to
starting to get dark on us there. Yeah, by 5 o'clock, it's dark.
Miss Marjorie says, I'd like to get a knife the size you would peel potatoes with. Is that the kind of fixed blade knife or no? It's in a sheath. It's in a...
This one comes in a leather sheath.
Leather sheath.
If you're looking for a knife to peel potatoes with, we showed one last week or 2 weeks ago.
It's been a couple of weeks.
The Opinel knife we showed on one of our YouTube, and it's like probably the best kitchen knife. Now it's like a razor blade. You have to be really, really careful with it.
I just use little bitty, what you call them?
Paring knives.
Paring knives most of the time.
Now you can get an Opinel in a paring knife shape and size.
Yeah. So this week has been like
I didn't bring my water in. I left it outside.
You need to go get it? You want some of mine? You can drink some of mine. I ain't gonna say nothing. This week has been like super busy. We have bounced from one thing to another. As of last weekend, we were not going to be doing cane. And then Sunday morning, Danny's looking at the forecast and he's going, you know, Tuesday morning it's going to be down to 24. And I said, I've been telling you for 2 days we need to do cane because it won't wait. And he was planning on doing, him and Chris were going to do a pig Monday.
Yeah, we were going to butcher a pig.
So Sunday morning we changed all our plans. No pig, we called Chris, no pig. He and I spent, 2-3 hours stripping and topping cane Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And then Monday morning, Chris came and helped him cut it down. And then Tuesday, 24 degrees, we made cane syrup.
We made cane syrup at 24 degrees. Let me show you something. Now, this was day 2 with me and Ms. Wanda.
Yeah, then we made some Wednesday.
We used all my old-fashioned cane the first day with Tim and Heidi and Miss Cynthia and all of us. We was all together. But now day 2, it's just me and Wanda. And we made blue ribbon cane because I saved all my blue ribbon out. We didn't run any of it in the first batch. But this is the old, this is the blue ribbon right here. Thick. Boy, it turned out thick. I mean, tell you what. Good Lord, how mercy is that stuff
This is the
good.
best part of the whole day. Y'all see what we doing? We have biscuits in our hand.
They got biscuits sopping out of the bottom of that pan.
Before Danny Tim dumped water in it and Danny had put it on there but that's the best part of the day was getting that biscuit and oh my goodness.
Chris Carlisle Cutlery said, does Wanda's Talit I sent a while back make the move?
Yes, all our stuff got moved here. We didn't leave anything behind. The house is totally empty. So everything is here.
Your Talit?
Yes.
Okay.
All of it's here.
Okay.
It is delicious. We were doing some sopping, y'all. Just saying.
Milk and Honey Heritage Farms, we'll be praying for you.
So we got in between doing the syrup.
We actually have processed.
Yeah. You got back up.
We planted.
Was it Tuesday? No.
I forgot what day it was. Days don't mean nothing to me anymore.
One day it was Tuesday. Wednesday.
Wednesday. No, we did syrup Wednesday.
But it was Wednesday.
Nope, it was Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
Yeah, because it was garbage day. Yeah. So Thursday, we decided to, our onions from Hall's Tool came in, And guys, if you're ordering, look, Hall's Tool onions this year are fantastic.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful. I mean, like last year they wasn't worth knocking in the head. This year, I don't know where Greg's getting them at, but these are some fine onions this year now.
They're beautiful.
So we planted the onions, and I said, well, while we planting onions, and I got the tractor all hooked up, we might as well make the rows up. And we planted cauliflower and we planted broccoli.
Well, your onions are still tiny.
Mine's still.
He's given them a haircut a couple of times, and he's fertilizing them like crazy, but they're just not ready.
Darlene Wright says, Danny, did you find the metal for your chimney? I guess at the shop.
I don't know. I don't know what chimney they're talking about.
Oh no, she's talking about on the cane mill.
Oh.
No, we haven't done it yet. Tim and I we're still working on that. Nostradamus said they're still waiting on their Hall's onions to arrive. Ours made it here really quick this year. Last year we didn't get them till.
They're en route.
We didn't get ours till December last year.
Jessica said surgery was a success. A praise report. That's awesome. Teresa's waiting on her onions.
I was hoping to have ours where they'd grow, and I have dumped the fertilizer on these onions. I'm missing something on the onions. I don't know what it is.
J Dub says, yeah, the onion starts were large. Yes, they were beautiful.
They were beautiful.
They weren't little T90s. I think out of all of them, we had...
we get 6 or 7, something like that?
Something that were tiny, like Danny's.
Yeah.
And we may have to plant Danny's little. We don't know yet. Sherry, Florida girl, says that the smoky coffee was delicious. His hubby would like something a little stronger. What would you recommend? Zero
Dark 30.
Or you could try Delta Dawn or Storms of Brewing. All three of those are a darker coffee. I really like the Zero Dark 30, but any of them are good. Yeah.
Everybody's saying that with the onions they got from Hall's this year was good. Ours, there was no slimy. I mean, they were like in mint condition.
Yeah, we didn't have any bad ones.
Not one bad one.
Last year, about half or better of them were bad. So it's like night and day. Let's see, where are we at? So we got that planted.
Cammy's Acre said she bought some of the scratch and dent Vego beds and said they were just little scratches on them and said it was like buy one, get one free, you know?
Exactly. Yes, it's an awesome deal. I'm telling you, even Vego's scratch and dent's not really that bad. We hadn't taken my...
We ain't took none of
I've got 3 that hadn't been put together
yet. These Vego beds just stacked up in my barn, my shop out there.
I got 3 beds and 3 tops, covers, and we ain't got those done yet.
I also got my cabbages planted.
Yeah.
In the barrels outside, and the freeze did not kill them.
Now we're, what else? Oh, I'll have to. I'm not going to give it away because we did move the tomatoes.
Yeah. Don't give it away.
I wanted y'all to see the tomatoes and see what happened, but we did move them. We just hadn't. I've got videos. We've been so busy and doing so much that I can't keep up. So y'all gonna see stuff a week or week and a half later after it happened. So don't think it just happened the day you see it.
Yeah.
We worked on that high tunnel for 2 weeks straight. So that kind of
That's what kind of messed us up was the high tone, because when we started putting it up, we had to go with it because we knew the freeze was coming and our citrus trees, we know we needed to get them in the high tone. So I had to just drop everything and go to doing that. Now we did process 6 of our meat birds. Was it yesterday? Yes, because we cut them up. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, wow. But yeah, we processed 6 of them yesterday.
And today we got up and smoked bacon. For Heidi and Tim, and then we smoked
coffee beans,
and then we cut up the 6 chickens, and we cut them in half.
Yeah, the first 6 we just chopped them in half this time because I think we're gonna try these few in half. Now the rest of them from from this point forward, we'll be chopping up in like leg quarters and breasts and, you know, chicken tenders and all that kind of stuff. And Miss Wanda's getting her broth meat out of it and all that.
Yeah. How much time was invested in hours on the high tunnel, and is it worth it?
It don't matter how much time you spend on putting one of them up, it's always worth it. If it took 100 hours to do it, it's still worth it.
Yeah.
You can't look at life that way. If you look at life like it's something worth it because on hours, we're caught up in this mentality.
Monetary value.
Yeah, putting a monetary value on everything. That's because our government done that to us. You can't put a monetary value on gardening. You can't put a monetary value on things. That is the trick that the government has put out there for us to, you know,
well,
to live by.
The high tunnel. Now I still have. There's 1, 2, maybe 4 more videos, 3 or 4. I can't remember on the high tunnel, and they're going to be spaced out next week because every day we were doing something with it. Yeah. And I tried to film. It's not perfect how-tos, but yeah.
No, we didn't do a how-to video on it this time because we have so many videos out there about how to build a high tunnel.
We have a whole playlist.
We just showed highlights of us working on it. And we done things on this one we not done on the others. That's one of the reasons we wanted to show it.
Yeah, so we still have several of those videos. We have the video on planting the onions and cauliflower and broccoli. I have videos on the cane syrup, the last one of those, and processing chickens, and digging ginger and turmeric. And I mean, I've got so many videos are just out. I've got to get them made, y'all.
Jerry Berwick says, I've been looking for the Fuya jalapeno, can't find them. Can y'all please help me?
They go by different names.
They go by different names. Some of them's, oh my goodness, not a pena.
Yeah, not a pena.
I think Baker's Creek sells not a penas.
Hoss Tool does.
And Hoss Tool sells not a penas.
Survival Garden Seed probably does.
Yeah, so I mean, they go by different names. We just happened to, the ones we bought were called Fuya.
Yeah, I've not seen them in seeds. I've only seen the Nata Pena and seen like there's another name, but it will say on the package that they're not hot. It'll be a jalapeno flavor without the heat. And that's what you're looking for. If you type that in, it should pull it up.
Let's see here. Is it possible to propagate wild muscadine vines with success, and what is the best way? Whatchamacallit. Yes, it is. All you have to do is take a wild muscadine vine and take your pocket knife or something and just scratch the bark off of one side of it down to where it looks a little green at. Bury it in the dirt, put a brick on top of it, and let it sit over winter. Next spring, it will root, and you'll be able to cut that off and plant it.
Jalapeno is one of the names.
Yeah.
All right. I will have a video on the ginger and turmeric. Somebody gifted me some, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was. If you're in here, you can say, hey, it was me. But they gifted me ginger and turmeric, and because I had lost mine in the move, and it did amazing this year. It's growing and everything, so y'all will get to see us harvest. And replant. I don't know if I got all of it. I replanted, but I don't know how much of it I filmed. I can't remember. Yeah, I usually can chicken broth and some chicken for putting in casseroles and stuff. So I will have a lot canned.
Farm Boy 59 says, do you think an old walk-in tobacco barn would work for a greenhouse, using the in-ground part for area to start the plants and then move them upstairs till they're ready to plant in the field? I don't know if they would get enough sunlight. That would be the biggest thing. They might get leggy on you.
All right, so some of them's writing a little bit more, and I'm having time reading.
Hey, Sue says, I picked up muscadines at the farmer's market this year, planted the seeds. Will we see what I get? We will see what I get. it just all depends on what kind you got. Now they'll come up, believe me. I have thrown muscadines out and had the doggone vines coming up everywhere, so they will come up.
All right. Have you had any luck getting your cabbage starts up and growing? If yes, do you have a secret? Mine grew 3 inches and seemed to have stopped.
All of my cabbages, J. Robinson, right now are in the starting stage. They're about 3 inches tall,
And they're
just sitting there. I mean, that's just a cabbage for you. It'll just sit there for a while, and then all of a sudden one day it'll just pick up and take off.
Miss Joyce says she bought 2 scratch and dent Vego beds. Crazy question, Danny, from Miss Connie. We've talked about the solar storms causing some heart issues and vertigo. Do you think it would mess with your vision too?
Yes, because your vision has to do with your blood pressure, and your blood vessels in your eyes really expand and contract. Now, if you've got heart problems, you can have vision problems. So, I mean, the heart problems and vision problems go hand in hand.
And Danny's dealing with a lot of that.
I'm dealing with a lot of that right now myself. And I can tell you when we have a solar storm. I can tell you within, I can come in the house and tell Wanda, I said, we must have just had a solar storm hit the earth, because I start getting, my equilibrium starts messing up, my heart starts getting out of whack a little bit and stuff.
Tim, I love your crazy wife. Let her plant her onions in the dark.
Boy, Tim says, I just drove up from work and my crazy wife is out in the garden planting onions.
I said, I love his crazy wife.
Yeah, leave her alone. Let her plant them onions, yeah.
Oh, can you do the canning stuff on Crazy Days? I really enjoy those shows. I wanted to get back to doing a few things, but we've been so busy. Now that high tunnel's out of the way, we get the chickens out of the way. We do have a couple of pigs, but that's another week or so, maybe.
Well, we gotta wait till it gets cold.
Yeah, so once we get this past week over and done with and the chickens finished up, I hope to be back here canning for Crazy Days. I may not show a lot of what I'm doing canning, but we'll sit and talk and I'll tell you what I'm doing and show little pieces of it and stuff.
3B Homestead, yeah, it could possibly, if you're stumbling around a lot some days, a solar storm messes with your equilibrium pretty bad. And
Mr. Ray, we had a catfish pond cleaned up and all, and we have it in several videos showing the catfish. They're huge.
Yeah.
Now it's almost non-existent right now. Our water table.
Our ponds are down like 4 or 5 foot right now. I mean, some of my neighbors' ponds have already dried up just about. So it is bad.
Farm Boy did not hear about the tobacco barn. He had a commercial. Could you repeat what you said?
I said it probably, I don't think they would get enough light if you planted in a tobacco barn. They would probably get tall and leggy inside the tobacco barn. I just don't see where it would be a good idea.
And Mr. Bart said he planted snappy sugar peas back in August. They're 2 to 3 feet tall, not a bloom. Why? Too hot?
If it's been too hot for them.
Sugar peas
need cool weather.
Now, if you've had cool weather, I have no clue there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just now getting ready to bloom if it's cooled off.
Ted Perry says, Danny, do you make country hams from your hogs? No, it's not cold enough here to do country hams. You got to have consistent cool weather. It's been 81 to 86 degrees for the last 3 or 4 days, and that's just ridiculous this time of the year.
Murdoch says, have you noticed an increase in acorns in the woods as well as pecans?
Yes. You walk out where the acorn trees are, there's like millions of them on the ground. I mean,
you go over to Deep South, the back porch, they're just falling. I had to clean that up yesterday.
Aaron Mass says, what do you think about the digital ID? I don't know that, I mean, the fact the digital ID has been around for several years, if you want to know the truth about it. If you take out your driver's license or anything like that, or any of your IDs in the, upper right hand corner, you'll either see a star or There's another symbol on it, and that information is shared with 3 countries. So, and it's all done digitally. This has been in existence for quite a while right now, so it's not anything new.
Mark wants to know, does Tater Man sell sweet potatoes or just the slips? Or does he sell potatoes or just sweet potatoes? It's just sweet potato slips.
It's just the slips, I think. I don't think he sells the actual potatoes.
But he doesn't sell regular potatoes either. That I know of, anyway. The weather report is for possible storms for southern Mississippi. I pray you get an abundant shower of blessings without any storm damage. We are kind of sitting on
We're sitting on the cusp of that. We're at a place, Vicki, where we might not even get anything, or we might get an inch.
Or we could get some damage. You never know.
You don't ever know. We're right there where the convergence zone is from the Gulf coming in to where the storms actually form once they come in off the Gulf. And it's usually just 20 miles north of us, to be honest.
Jerry wants to know, have you got a deer yet?
No, I have not shot a deer yet. I have been way too busy. It's not because I haven't seen them or had the opportunity. I just have been too busy. Now, me and Chris butchered one the other day. Chris coming over to my house hit one with his truck, and he stopped and picked it up and brought it. The morning
y'all did.
The morning we were supposed to cut sugar cane down,
yeah,
we ended up skinning out
too this week.
We skinned the deer out and hung it in my cooler all day while we cut sugar cane. And then Chris took it home with him that evening.
All right, Bill says, I mulch my leaves and bag them with the lawnmower. Is there any benefits to putting ground up leaves directly in my garden and plowing them under right now?
Yes, it is definitely a benefit to go ahead and do it now, give them time to decompose over the winter months, because when you mow with a lawnmower, you really cut down on the decaying time. They're in smaller pieces so that they'll break down a whole lot faster.
Right.
Gail Scott says, I have 2 Anna apple trees that bloom but never produce apples. They are 5+ years old. What do I need to do to get them to produce? Well, your Anna apples either needs a crabapple as a pollinator, or an Ein Shamir as a pollinator, or a Dorset Golden. Now, not Golden Dorset, but Dorset Golden as a pollinator. Apple trees have to have a pollinator. Now, I use crab apples to pollinate my apple trees with, and it has always worked out really, really good.
Yeah, you can't just have like 2 Anna apples. That doesn't work, and that could be one problem. What brand of portable power stations do you recommend for temporary emergency use?
Oh, my mind just went blank. I'm sorry, guys. I was thinking about something else. Jackery.
That's it. I was trying. Mine wouldn't work either.
Jackery. I would not go less than a 2,000 watt one. I would say 2,000 or better. But the Jackery has performed without a flaw for us.
All right, now Z Fox wants to know, can I use pecan leaves? The locals say no.
Yeah, I use them all the time. I mow mine up, chop them up, and put them around everything.
All right.
Romy Davis says, I need to get 3 more deer. That's all we eat is deer meat. We usually butcher 2 a year for our own personal use, and we take 2 pigs, 2 deer, and a cow, or a yearling, not a cow, but a yearling. Mm-hmm. And then we usually do 24, 25 meat chickens, and that gives us enough meat that we don't really have to worry all year about any kind of meat.
Are pecan shells good for the garden?
Pecan shells takes a little bit too much time to break down. Now, if you put them in a compost pile, it's fine, but I would not put them directly in the garden.
Miss Vicky said, come spring, you should have more than enough crab apples to pollinate all your apples.
We don't have... There was one crab apple tree in this part of the country out here when I moved out here. and a man pushed it down because he just didn't like it. He bought the property next to me. It was on the property next to where I originally lived at, and he just took a dozer and pushed it up, you know. Now, that's when we was at Deep South, not where we're at now, but when we was at Deep South.
That's when you first moved out.
When I first moved in this part of that part of the country, I was talking to a gentleman, and he told me, I said, "Is there any crabapple trees in these woods anywhere?" And he said, "There's one on that property." He showed me on it. We went and looked at it, and the property was for sale, and I did think about buying it at the time over there by Deep South, but they wanted just a little bit too much money, and I didn't buy it. So some other guy bought it and come in with a bulldozer and just pushed it right up. And I was like, "Are you a nut?" You know what I mean?
Do you know what 31 Atlas is? Is it a hoax?
No, it's not a hoax. 31 Atlas is not a hoax. Big Red says, "Danny, how do you manage weeds in your pasture?" I do it by hand. I literally take my Ranger and I get up in the mornings and I drive out in my pastures, and any weeds that do not belong, I either take a shovel and cut them off at the ground, or I pull them up. You can ask Wanda. That is how I handle the weeds in my pasture.
JT West says, Joey says he agrees on the jackery.
Yeah, the jackery, that thing. Now we've tried them all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we've got quite a few.
We've got quite a few of them. Now, some
couple of them went in the garbage almost immediately.
Yeah, some of them I called the company back and I said, "This thing burned up the first time I plugged it up. Do you still want me to do a review on it?"
And they said,
no, don't do a review on it. Please don't do a review on it. I said, "Well, what you want me to do with it?" They said, "I don't care what you do with it. We don't want it back." You know, so I was like, I gave it to somebody.
I don't even remember what the brand was.
I don't even remember what brand it was.
We didn't do one on it. So, what kind of jackery do I need to run a freezer in a power outage?
I would not go less than 2,000 watts. Stay 2,000 watts or more. And the thing about a freezer is, once it gets frozen, it don't kick on very often, and that's the reason you can run it with these power stations.
Teresa says she's picking up her first Azure Standard order this week. She made sure to get those chips we recommended. I also picked up Azure this week. That was another thing.
Oh yeah,
I took the ladies and we took off to pick up my Azure order while Danny and Tim were cooking cane syrup.
We're doing cane syrup, yeah. Maria says, "Danny, what's the name of your crabapple?" I've got 2 of them now.
Here?
Yeah, there's one in front of the pump house. I don't have any idea what it is. It just said crabapple on it when I bought it. And the other one is out here in front of the house out here. It is a Whitney crabapple.
At Deep South, we had a huge flowering crabapple.
We had a flowering crabapple at Deep South. That thing was huge.
Now, it put on little crabapples, and you could have made jellies and jams with it or whatever. But Danny just always let the animals have it. There were so many on that tree, and you'd had that tree since.
Oh, I've had that tree.
It'd been there. I mean, it was a huge,
it was a giant tree.
15, 20 foot
Probably
tree.
20 feet tall, yeah. Eagle Lover from Texas says, "How many years does glyphosate stay in the soil?" Eagle Lover, that is very hard to say because it depends on how many years it was used, because glyphosate settles in the ground down to the bedrock, and every year that it's used, it builds up on top of that till it reaches the top of the soil. So it depends on how many years it was used. If it was just used 1 year on the property, you know, you might, you would probably need to do a flat break and turn the bedrock up and give it a year just to lay, and it probably would go away. But if it was used for several years, the soil is probably just contaminated.
All right, now, Jesus says, "Do you have a recommended ball thing to pick up pecans with? It's painful on my back to pick them up by hand. I'm not 4 anymore." What's that thing called?
I don't know what you call this thing we got. We bought it at the hardware store.
But you can get them on Amazon.
You can get them on Amazon. You just push them along on the ground. They got a little cage thing on them. You just push a little stick along on the ground. That cage just rolls over them and picks them up. I mean, it was about $40 or $50 for that thing, but it's been well worth it.
Azure granola maple pecan is so good. Yes, that's what I usually get for us is the granola maple pecan. Then I add in some cashews, some raisins. I made it up today. I added cashews, raisins, banana chips, that granola. What else did I put in there? You remember if there's something else I put in there? I can't remember, but that's the main things that I put in Danny's. Walnuts.
Monkey Food Garden says those chips from Azure are good along with a queso dip. I don't want y'all to order no more because if you do, it's not going to leave any for me. You know?
He's afraid it's going to run out. Okay.
They are really good. Let me put it this way. They are just really good.
Tuesday, and we've already downed one queso, and probably he'll start on the second one. It does not make it through the month. I'm going to just tell y'all.
No, I don't.
It does not make it through the month unless I hide it and he don't know where it is.
Garden weasel. That's what Vicky's right. It's called a garden weasel. Thank you, Vicky. Stormy Kurt says, Danny, do you mean bedrock or hard pan? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's where your glyphosate ends up at. What they tell you is the Department of Agriculture, I used to be with the Department of Agriculture, they tell you the first year after you use glyphosate, it goes away and it's harmless, which in the top layers of the soil is 100% accurate. But the misinformation there is that it goes down to the bedrock and it lays at the bedrock.
All right. Big Red says, have you ever raised honeybees?
Yes, I used to have my own beehives. Many, many years ago, I had my own beehives.
All right. Wounded Knee says, I know nothing about this topic. How are the yearlings dispensed for processing? I love beef, but I struggle with the issue after watching a video of a halal method. I don't know what that is.
Where they cut their throat. I mean, I don't know. God put the animals here for our benefits, and you can't get connected to them. I mean, mine, I just walk out and shoot them in the head, and then cut their throat. I mean, that's all you can do. They don't have a soul, you know, so it's not like you're killing something with a soul. We give them the best life that we can possibly give them, and they have one bad day. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
All right, Miss Catherine said that she was talking to her grandmother about my kitchen-a-majig, and she reached in the drawer and gave her hers.
Oh.
I have two now. Somebody sent me one, so now I have two, and I'm excited because if one of them happens to mess up, my one is over 20 years old. I've had it for more than 20 years. And so now I have two, just in case.
Maria said, we had a bumper crop of pecans last year, but hardly had any this year. We were the same way. Last year we had pecans everywhere. Now this year we have a good bit of pecans, but nothing comparable to what it was last year.
Somebody talking about pulling weeds. Miss Vicky talking about the weed puller. She sent us a weed puller, and I got up and it takes and reaches down and pulls weeds. I used it here a week or so ago or a couple of weeks ago in the yard because I wanted everything in my yard, any of those stickery weeds.
Bull thistles.
Yeah, them things up.
Several things went by I wanted to answer. I can't remember what they was now. I'm trying to keep them all in my head. Milk and Honey Heritage Farm says bees are expensive to get started, but a fun adventure. Yeah. Let's see.
Mr. George says he just watched High Tunnel Part 5. Thanks again for the series. Hey, several more coming up. 2 or 3 more. I don't remember how many.
Hands on Homestead said, animals have a soul. Sorry, but you're wrong about this, I do believe. I'm sorry, we'll have to disagree on that one because if you have a soul, then that means you have to have salvation to go to heaven. If you don't, you'll go to hell. And I don't believe animals have the ability to choose heaven or hell. They're just part of God's creation, like the trees and the grass. They don't have a soul. You know, I mean, there's nowhere in the Bible that it's mentioned that they have a soul. So, I mean, you can believe that if you want, and I don't won't harbor no hard feelings or anything, but I'm just saying we'll just agree to disagree.
There was something else. Where am I at?
George Scott said, just watch the High Tunnel Part 5 series. Thank you.
I just read that. Can you use your pecan hulls to smoke?
Okay, here we
That's
go.
what I was looking for.
You probably could use pecan hulls. I just use the pecan wood. I'm not. The pecan hulls gives off a little bit of a bitter taste. East Texas Living says, AA, my pineapple's finally fruited. Oh, I was asking, how long does it take a pineapple after it blooms or to fruit? Pineapples can take up to 2 years, sometimes 3 years, before they'll actually grow a fruit.
Let's see. Our pecan trees are around 70 years old, but we haven't had any in 3 years. Have no idea what to do to help them and not lose them. What would you do to the 70-year-old pecan trees?
Sometimes they may be lacking in zinc, maybe lacking in copper. I would do a soil test around the tree and see what, and send off a soil test based on pecan trees and see what the soil is lacking in. It could just simply be that it's lacking in something.
I do not get to Columbia very much, about a couple of 3 times a year. How is Lucy?
Lucy is as rambunctious as she can be. She is just full of life. That dog is something else.
Until she ain't.
Yeah, I mean she.
There's times she's just laying around lazy and look at you like I could care less, and the next minute she's up and you can't stop her.
Yeah,
90 to nothing.
It's just crazy.
She's total kid. Right now she's in her playpen.
She loves to go in her playpen at night. She'll go in her playpen and she'll lay down in there, and when I get up at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning, whichever one I decide to cook breakfast at, she'll whine a little bit at that time. And I'll go open the door and let her out, and she'll go to the bathroom and come back in and lay down and go back to sleep.
T-Bear says add Lydia, a 3-year-old baby, to the prayer list. She has a rare disease, and I can't call her. Filippo syndrome. Okay, so you have to remember that. Did she get the plastic bottle? Yes, she.
Yep. She got the plastic bottle. Sure did.
Yeah, a while ago she was making an awful lot of racket in the house with it. Any recipe ideas for eggplant? What was it I made with eggplant? A good bit. Eggplant parmesan is one of them, but then I made, I'm trying to think what we did that we really liked. We haven't had eggplant in a while.
Yeah.
I would chop it up in spaghetti sauce. Eggplant is good to hide in spaghetti sauce, just saying. If you need to use some. There's your daughter, Jennifer.
Hey, there's Jennifer dropping in there.
Eagle Lover says the guy that leases the property to run cattle refuses to not use glyphosate treated hay, so should I not use the soil?
I probably wouldn't use the soil, to be honest with you, because the cow manure is in the soil and it's putting it back into the soil. And plus the hay, as it decomposes, puts it back into the soil.
Danny, in a previous video, you mentioned that there are 2 vitamins that you and Wanda needed to make sure you're...
I got a backup one there. How do
Alright,
back up to Joey? I want to see what Joey said. I just seen.
Alright, I can't... Which one of these do I
Right
make?
there. Right there now.
Okay, now I can back it up. I was reading one and then I...
Oh, you went way too far. Pull it right there. Hold it. Just keep it right there.
Okay.
Okay, Joey from JT West says, I've always understood that God spoke everything but man into existence, man being formed with his hand from the dirt and breathed life into him, and in doing so he gave man an eternal soul. and it quit. You can only write so much. It says because of God's.
All right, Joe, you have to finish that.
You have to finish it out, Joey. It took away part of your words. And Joey's right. Joey is exactly right. God spoke every being into existence, but man, he breathed the breath of life into him, which is called his soul or his spirit, into him. He did not do that with plants. He didn't do it with animals. He didn't do it with the solar system or anything else. The trees.
I guess it jumped. But anyways, are we back where we were at?
Yeah.
I think. Let me see for sure. Okay. Now then.
Let's see here. Trying to figure out where we're
Okay,
at.
they're talking about eggplant and some of the things.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what people are talking about there.
I think some of them are talking about eggplant and different recipes, so. Okay. Where you at? Yeah, they're still talking about a recipe for the most part, I think. What else we got done this week and what we got to do next week? Finish up the chickens. What else are we on? Are we back? Oh, he's working on the back porch.
I'm working on a deck on the back of the camp house. That's one thing I'm working on that. It's been a big construction project I've been working on. It's going to take me a while to get it done because I can't just solely.
He's having to work on it.
I just pick up a few minutes here and there to work on it, and then I'm having to order material, getting it in, to be able to work on it. On top of trying to take care of everything else around here.
Joey said because God's eternal. That's would end his statement a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I agree with that. That's true. And the verse that they're talking about in Ecclesiastes over there, talking about the breath, the reason it says that is because we're all flesh. Our body is made out of flesh, and we all breathe air. We all have a heartbeat, and our bodies will go back to the dust from whence they came. God created everything out of the dust of the earth. That's all that verse means.
The Northern Lights, I got a glimpse of it a couple of times. I just didn't go out into the field to see it because where we're sitting, the trees cover and you don't just get a direct line into the sky, and I'd have to walk out, and I took Lucy out to use the bathroom. So I saw through the trees, I could see it, but I didn't walk out there. I should have, but I didn't. How did the row marker work on the tractor? Have you put it on there yet?
The row marker?
Tim said.
Oh, the row maker. You said marker.
I thought it said marker.
No, Tim, it worked out great.
Okay.
It worked really, really good. I do think I need to move it forward where I can see it just a little bit better because it's right under my foot pedals, and I have to lean forward a little bit to see, exactly how I'm cutting the top of the row off. But we have a video coming up showing me using it, and I think after I kind of patterned it after Joey's done his on JT West, and it worked out really, really good.
Okay, Wounded Niece says, I wasn't really asking about animal souls. I was just worried about the suffering in the process of being killed for our consumption. Yeah, ours do not suffer. Danny does not.
No.
He doesn't put them through. I couldn't handle it if that was the case.
I know. I wouldn't do it if that was the case.
Danny couldn't handle it.
I wouldn't do it. I don't believe in being cruel.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do not believe in.
suffer.
I'm a precision shooter. I've been a shooter for many, many years of my life. I was a long distance shooter for years, and I usually don't miss. I've done it so much that I can't get it wrong. And Wanda's actually watched me. She knows I don't.
Now, if you take it somewhere like a slaughterhouse or something, most of those are very humane. Most of them. I won't say all of them. Some of those places, though, they live in a crappy situation.
Yeah.
And they die in a crappy situation.
Yeah,
so you have to be careful where
I'll put it to you this way. I've been to the commercial places where they do pigs. I've been where they do chickens, and it's very inhumane. You know, I mean, the pigs, they put them in these, there's a revolving thing that just goes round and round like this. They'll load 6 to 10 pigs in this thing, and as it goes up, they inject carbon dioxide into it, and all the pigs die from carbon dioxide poisoning. When it comes back around, the thing opens and dumps them out, and a guy's there and hooks them on a thing and sends them down a conveyor line, you know, and the chickens are, it's just horrible. If you ever go to a chicken factory, you probably never eat chicken again, you know, so it's very distasteful what they do to things. Now, if you go back and look in the Old Testament, animals were actually held down and had their throats cut, and the blood was caught in dishes and stuff like this to offer up for sacrifices and stuff. I mean, if you think the way we do it's cruel, back then it was really cruel.
All right, so it's up here.
Where are we at?
There was way up here, Miss Millie said, the P and M minerals you mentioned last week, our body is lacking in the soil. What are they?
Manganese and magnesium. They're also looking at removing copper. So, in most of the places, the soil, especially if you live in the southern part of the United States, the soil is already depleted of copper. If you raise goats or anything like that, you already know that you have to inject copper boluses into their mouth so that the little spurs on them hang into their stomach lining so that they get the copper that they need. Sheep would be just the opposite. You give sheep copper, you'll kill them. You know, so you gotta understand and know kind of what's going on there. Jay Robertson asked the same exact question. So it's manganese and magnesium. Soon to be copper.
Maria says my Anna apple tree gets powdery mildew every summer. Is there anything you can do?
Now what now?
Anna apple tree gets powdery mildew.
I've never had an Anna apple get powdery mildew.
Ours gets that black. It is a type of mildew.
It's a Dan Batson up here at the nursery told me that was called a sooty mold.
Yeah, I thought it was some type of mold. I couldn't remember. All right, Catherine, I'm not sure if I can ask, but my 65-year-old friend lost her 16-year-old cat. She's looking for 6 to 8 week old kittens to heal her heart. I'm in Livonia, Michigan. I will drive 3 hours to. Anybody got any kittens in Michigan? Somewhere close? For Miss Catherine, if you do, let her know. If you're close to Mississippi, that'd probably be somebody down here had them.
People's talking about eating meat. If you go back to Abraham, when Melchizedek came to see Abraham, and Abraham was sitting in the tent, he had just circumcised himself, and he was in pain, but Melchizedek came up. What did Abraham tell one of his workers to do? He said, go kill the kid. In other words, talking about a goat, so that we might have meat to feed these, which I believe was Christ himself, but angels they called them. So eating meat has been something that all throughout biblical history, the only time meat was not eaten was before the flood. After the flood, the Lord said He has given us all herbs of the field, and we can eat the animals and everything like that afterwards.
Miss Starla, we will be praying for you that you get there safely, and let us know when you get there. She's moving to Miss Tambra's. Somebody up there, yes, I do freeze sweet potato fries. That's something I made quite a few of this year, so we have sweet potato fries and regular fries in the freezer. Thanks to Miss Lippy. If y'all don't know, go over to Miss Lippy's and watch how she does it. Do you have a pecan tree that produces tons of pecans, but no, we have a pecan tree. It produces lots of pecans, but they don't mature. Is it a nutrition?
Yes, it's probably a nutrition, probably a zinc. Zinc is the number one. Zinc and nitrogen are the two most common minerals that pecan trees are lacking in. That's what we're finding out on our place here, is those two, and lime. You can add lime to that. If you can lime it, and like I said, just do a soil test and send it off, and I think you'll find out that what I'm telling you is correct. Now, it may need some copper too, but most likely it's going to be one of those there.
Yeah. All right, so they're putting up Miss Lippy's channel if you want to go find her stuff. Cannon cranberry juices. Listen, I got some cranberries from Azure this time, so Daniel get some fresh cranberry sauce sometime when I get time to make it.
Right.
All right, so where are we at? Gosh, it's 8 o'clock already.
Oh, is it? Oh my goodness!
Oh, sometimes
it's already 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness!
Blanch them first, or just freeze them fresh cut? The sweet potato fries, I do blanch, and I do blanch the regular fries. But you have to dry them very, very well, or they will get freezer burnt. That's the key. And Miss Lippy even puts, and I do too now that she told me, I fold paper towels and put in the bag to absorb any moisture that does drip out of them. And so that way it helps too. Bart says, remember him in prayers. He has prostate surgery Tuesday. Miss Kim says, can we supplement with copper? What would you use for copper? That's a hard one.
That's a hard one there.
I'm sure there's something that has some copper in it. You just have to kind of look.
There's lots of things out there that has traces of copper in it, but not for just a copper substitute.
Let's see. Miss Mary Beth asked him for prayers for her back. Mr. Ray for prayers for his wife. Miss Anne Marie for a guy that
went into anaphylactic shock and dropped dead.
Yeah. In this day and time, with all the allergies people have to stuff that's in foods, that is really crazy.
I seen Heidi a while ago. Hey Heidi, I forgot to tell you.
Tim said, I told Tim to leave you alone, let you plant your onions.
Yeah, I seen Heidi when she came on a while ago, and I meant to say something and I didn't.
Miss Rhonda said, pray for her. She's very sick. She thinks it's the flu. That is going around some in different places. Drink out of a copper cup. Now that is what the older people did back in the day.
That's what kings and big highfalutin people have always done that. They eat off of silver. They drank out of gold and copper containers and stuff like. So yeah, that is one good way you can do it. If your house has copper pipes in it, I mean, you should be able to get
it's a plus, even though you don't like it.
Yeah.
Aaron Mask, I do not. We're not selling any cane syrup, so not this year. Now, if we had lots and lots of it, it would be different. But this year was very limited.
Mindless Manpower says, can I get prayer for my grandma's leg? Yes, you can.
And Mr. Thurl, prayers for his wife. I want to call him a Miss. Thurl sounds like it should be a woman's name. I'm sorry.
Miss Starla says, Mr. Danny, will sugarcane grow in South Texas? Yes, it will.
Lou says a friend with a tumor removed. Surgery went well.
Let's see.
Double A is back.
Oatmeal is a source of copper. If it is, it ought to be coppered up.
Let's see.
Oh, well, anyway, we got to...
I'm just trying to read them, and they popping. Hoff sells a copper replacement. I'm not sure if that's just for your plants. So
Yeah, it's for your
you
plant.
could use it on the plants, might help. That might be
Yeah.
a way to get some copper into the plants, is by using that.
Mine was power, so after being 28 degrees and killing my plants, it's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow. We had one day 24 degrees, the next day 70, the next day 75. Now it's 85 yesterday, 86 today. I mean, who knows? Oh man.
Miss Teresa said, praising God that her daughter-in-law accepted Jesus and was baptized.
Amen.
That's a
Amen.
good
That's the kind of praise report you want to have.
JT West says, do you have some good Jimmy Red seed?
You were able to put back. Yeah, Joey. I saved about almost a gallon bag of it. I had some really good ears that
And then
turned
we have
out.
some to grind.
And
We
then
hadn't ground yet.
We've got to get the grist mill. As soon as I get the thing put on the back of my tractor, I got to go to town and get some metric bolts, because my tractor's got metric bolts in. I got to go to town and get some metric thread bolts to go on the back of my tractor, an inch longer than the ones that's already in it, so I can hook the belt drive up to the back of my tractor, and we'll be ready to grind some Jimmy Red cornmeal and grits and corn flour and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right. You wanna,
Okay.
let's have a prayer. And
Yeah. We got to pray. I didn't realize it was that late already, guys. I am so sorry. Father, we thank you so much for the blessed week you've given us. It's been a challenging week, but Father, you've come through for us with flying colors. You give us the energy, the strength, and the help to complete the week that was before us. And we've had a lot of prayer requests here tonight. A lot of people, Father, is trusting in you. They've asked that you hear their prayers and you answer their prayers. And we've called them out. And you've seen them, Lord, so I'm asking you tonight, if it be your will, to answer them, Father, in a way that would glorify the kingdom of heaven and bless the people also. And Father, it's always a good thing when we hear the praise reports about people being saved, people being healed, and stuff to that nature. Father, we just praise you for that, and we ask that you don't let people slide through the cracks, Father, that you take time and go look at the request that's put up here tonight. The people were faithful to mention it, and I pray that you'll answer them, Father, and that you'll give them peace, give them understanding about what's going on in their life, and give them healing, Father. Give them all these things, and we ask that in the name of Christ. And Lord, we just we've got some situations going on in mine and Wanda's life that we want to pray about. They're kind of private right now, and we ask that you would remember them also. And Father, our country is it's going downhill rather quickly. So we're asking prayer for our country and for our leaders, Father, that they would grow up and act like adults and do the job that they've been hired to do, and then follow you. And Lord, I pray that you'll just give them the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding that they need to be able to complete the task that they have to do. And Father, we love you. We love you so much, and we thank you for all that you've done for us in our lives and all that you're going to do for us. Because as you've told us in Isaiah, Father, you said that you have a plan for our life and that it's good. And Father, I believe that and I claim it every day of my life. And I ask that you would give each and every person here a joyful night's rest and a happy day tomorrow, Father. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Oh. Yeah, somebody said they just put ads up and I started praying. It always happens that way. Always.
There's Silver Run Coffee Crafters. So, what do you think about the way the camera's doing? Because she's having trouble with her camera a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out how to make things, help her work out her kinks too. BJ says, pray for my husband. He has broken his back and torn rotator cuff.
Due to a car accident, a woman hit him and my mother.
Mm.
You never know. So I'm telling you, you never know.
All right, Miss Pamela says, any tips tonight?
Any tips for tonight? I've thought about that today. While I was out doing stuff today, I was like, Lord, what can we do for a tip tonight? You know, I thought about that, and you know, guys, when I give y'all these tips, I'm actually thinking about my own self also. You know, I mean, I think about what the Lord's laid on my heart for the times like this, and the thing that come to my mind today is there is another way. You know, many of us don't all have a quote-unquote homestead, if you want to use that word. I don't like the word homestead. I really don't. Even though I use it, I don't like it. Lots of people don't have the land. They don't have the equipment. They don't have everything that everybody else has, you know, and sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes just due to circumstances in life, things happen, you know, and sometimes we make bad decisions in life and we get stuck in those ruts and we can't get out of them. But there's another way. You know, you don't have to have everything that everybody else has. That's where the old phrase come from, keeping up with the Joneses, you know. We shouldn't do that. We should go to the Lord and say, Lord, whatever your circumstances is, maybe you live in a subdivision or an HOA, or maybe you live on a suburban type situation where you just got a lot, or maybe you've got a couple of lots. Maybe you have a half an acre, maybe you have an acre, maybe you got 10 acres. You know, who knows? We're not all going to be the same. But it doesn't mean that we can't all work toward the same goal. We just have to figure out how to make it happen. And that's where the square foot gardening situation comes into mind and comes into play. I know we had a gentleman one time that was disabled in a wheelchair, sent us a video of himself, had a little old raised bed in his backyard with one of these little old tiny tillers that, like a mantis, tilling that bed and him in a wheelchair, planting and growing stuff and telling us thank you for being an inspiration to him. You know, and
he was an inspiration to us.
He was an inspiration to me.
Because he was trying. He actually was raising some food.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, here's a guy who's in 10 times worse shape than I am, and he's out growing food, and I sit here and look at these people who claim that they can't get out and do nothing, and this guy's paralyzed and still growing his own food, planting tomato plants. Wanda and I knew a young lady from New York who had a situation happen in her life. A doctor made a bad decision and left her messed up pretty bad. And we sent her some tomato seeds and stuff like that.
Peppers.
Peppers and stuff like that. And she got her mother to help her plant.
It was her son.
I'm sorry, her son. It was her son. It was her mother who sent us the message.
Yeah.
Her son, she got her son to help her plant those seeds along beside the sidewalks. And in some little containers and garden bed, you know. And she said, Mr. Danny, I have grown some of the most beautiful tomatoes I have ever seen. I forgot, we sent her there was elongated.
Amish paste.
Can't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, she was such an inspiration to us. And then she passed away not long after that, and her mother, you know, sent us a message and told us how much she appreciated how we'd helped her daughter. You know,
but people can grow even if it's little things.
Yeah, I mean, there's another way. You don't have to do it the way I do it. I mean, I've got 5 tractors. You know, you don't have to have a tractor. I just love tractors, and you can get out there. Before I had all these tractors, Wanda and I, before we had all these tractors, we got out there and, I mean, we just used a hoe we used to tote water in 5-gallon buckets all over 10 acres, you know, because we didn't have no Rangers or no Kubotas or anything like that. We just had to tote water, and
you do what you have to
just
do when
do what you got to do. You know, there's another way to do things. You don't have to.
If you've got a flower bed in your front yard, like it's just a small flower bed, instead of planting flowers, put you a few tomatoes or cabbage this time of the year or something, and just learn one thing and learn it well. Learn how to do 1 or 2 items, plants, and then move on to something else. Once you figure out what to do with that cabbage plant to make it produce a cabbage, next year you can plant 10 cabbages or 20 cabbages because you know what to do. Then add another something. Say, I want to grow greens or whatever. And every year add 2 or 3 different things. Once you learn one thing, learn how to do something else.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, when I had my accident when I was 17 years old, I was not supposed to live and not walk again or anything like that. Now, I got out and crawled around on my hands and knees till I got my legs where they'd work again, and then I learned to, I learned to walk again, and then I learned to run again. And guys,
you worked on your car and everything with a broke leg.
I had a cast on my leg.
Tell them what happened.
Oh, this is kind of bad.
Determination.
This is called determination,
and stupidity at the same time.
Well, a lot of stupidity in it. But I had a 1959 Ford truck that I had stripped down to the frame, and I was rebuilding a show truck, and I was 17 years old. And it was in my daddy's shop. Now, I had the frame completely sandblasted. I had put new brake lines on it. I changed all the bolts out and everything. I had taken the kingpins and bushings out in front of it, rebuilt all that stuff, put the new axles under the front end of it, new wheel bearings and all that. And I had just set the cab back down on it, got the steering wheel hooked up, and was fixing to start. I had the motor was out of it, everything. And my daddy come to me, and I was on crutches after having had that bad accident. He told me, he said, "Son, I'm tired of that truck being in my shop. I want it out of there. I got to have my shop for equipment." And I told him, I says, "Okay." So, you know me. I went over to the shop. I'm on my crutches. I go over there, and I look at that truck. And when you come out of my daddy's shop, it just goes downhill and off into a big holler down in there. And I said, "I think if I can get this truck to rolling a little bit, I can jump up in the seat and take my good foot and just ride the brake, and I'll ride it all the way to the bottom of the hill." Well, I started trying to roll it, and I had the door open on the driver's side, steering it with, and I had it rolling in my daddy's shop, hopping on one leg, pushing the truck backwards. Well, when it got to a certain point, it started going faster than I thought it was. Well, I lost my balance, and the door knocked me down, and I got caught up under the truck, and it had been raining, and the front wheel was against my stomach, and I was sliding down that hill, holding onto the, it had a running board on the old truck, and I was holding onto the running board with my thing to keep the truck from just running over me all the way up through my face and everything, and it dragged me all the way to the bottom of that hill and off out into a holler down in there, and I
didn't run over him.
It didn't run over me, but it dragged me underneath the truck, and I still had a broke leg with a cast on it. And I finally managed to get the truck off of me and get the tire off of my stomach, and I got up on my one leg to make sure that it wasn't broke too. And I had mud from my face to my bottom of my feet. And I hopped on one leg because it messed my crutches up at the shop. It ran over them and ruined them. I hopped all the way to the house on one leg, and I come in, and my mama asked me, said, "What in the world happened to you?" And I told her, I said, "Well, Daddy told me I had to move that truck out of the shop." I said, "And I tried, and it ran over me, and drug me to the bottom of the hill." And Mama went to panicking then, wanting to take me to the doctor and get me all checked out. I told her, I said, "Mom, I'm fine. I just need to get a bath and get cleaned up, But, God was just watching over because I was stupid. I should have just...
got help.
I should have waited till Daddy come home and said, "Daddy, can you just put a vehicle behind it or something, and I'll ride in it and steer it backwards and everything. But
he does have the strangest accidents. He's got a list.
I have a long list of accidents that I've been involved in my life that only God, I must have wore my guardian angel out, that's all I can say. I mean, I think when I finally got old enough that I quit having all them bad accidents, my guardian angel probably just went to the Lord and said, Lord, can I resign from him and let somebody else have him now? You know what I mean? But anyway, that's what happened, you know.
But you can do anything. I mean, even him, he done all kinds of stuff. One time when your leg was broke, this was later in life.
Oh yeah, the second time I broke my other leg, we had bought an old school building our church had, and we were tearing that school building down so we would have the lumber to build our new church out of. And when I broke my leg, I couldn't go to work anymore, and my dad had a old international truck, a 3/4 ton international truck, and he said, son, will you drive that truck back, and it had an automatic transmission in it, will you drive it from the where we lived at to the building site and let the other young people load the back of that truck up with blocks and bricks to bring them back to the house here, because we were taking chipping hammers and cleaning the mortar off of the blocks and the bricks to use on the new church. And you know me, I couldn't just drive it. I mean, I got up there and I was hopping around on one leg loading blocks and bricks all in the back of the truck with a cast on the other leg, and Mama come up there and I was hopping from floor joists across the old building, from one floor joist to the next with bricks and blocks in my arms on one leg. And Mama said, son, you're going to fall and break the other leg, you know. But I've always had the desire to just keep pushing myself. And
then later when you had another broke leg, you were picking up pecans after your kids were old. You know, you had kids.
I did have kids too, yeah. I had kids. I broke my legs again. I cut a tree down and a tree fell on me and broke my legs. You know?
You ain't making this up.
I'm not making it up, guys. I have been broke all to pieces.
I'm serious.
All my life, the devil has tried to kill me all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And God has intervened every time and prevented me from actually dying. And I have laid on my deathbed several times. But God is good all the time.
Pecans with a broke leg.
I picked up pecans with a broke leg. Yeah, I sit on my behind, scooted across the ground, and picked up pecans. Yeah.
All right, Miss Linda, yes, Vego does have a retractable hose. I have 3 of them, and I love them. Danny and I love the retractable hose.
Stormy says, so the tip tonight is, don't be Danny.
Exactly. Y'all don't want to be Danny. I know a lot of people say, I wish I was Danny. Not really. The reason he is the way he is because he's had all these bumps in the road. Without those bumps, he wouldn't have the knowledge he has, because every one of them has given him some new...
You know, and it's not that I'm accident prone.
No.
It's that I do things that nobody else will do. You know, I've been on several missions in my life, and nobody else would take them, and I took them, and I ended up, getting hurt, but it was for the right cause, you know.
And
so
when you helped Mr. Leo,
as a matter of fact, the very property we're on right now, I had come by here one day, and the old man, Mr. Leo, that lived here, was out trimming limbs in a pecan tree up on top of a ladder, and in the back of a truck, and he was almost 80 years old. And I said, sir, you don't need to be doing that. And I was a 20-something-year-old man. I said, let me get up there and do that. And he said, well, I'm going to run to the store and get us a drink. You know, I said, okay, that'll be fine. So I was up there cutting limbs with a chainsaw, and when I cut one of those limbs, it fell to the ground and jumped and bounced backwards and hit the leg under the bottom of the ladder and broke it. And I fell 12 feet face first to the ground. I throwed the chainsaw, and when my hands hit the ground, a limb hit me in my face like that, knocked my teeth through my bottom lip, and broke my neck. And I just rolled over on the ground and laid there, and I was like, okay, I can still feel my hands, I can still feel my feet and everything. He took me to the hospital, and they put my neck in all this brace stuff to hold me apart and all that kind of stuff. So, and pain. Catherine Stazzoni says, "What is your pain tolerance level?"
Very high.
Very, very high. I mean, let me put it to you this way: I cut the end off my thumb, and it didn't even hurt. Never hurt me the first time.
But now let him get cold, and it hurts.
Now you let me get cold, and I'll take a chill, and I'll go into shaking, and I can't control the shaking. But anyway.
All right, that's enough stories.
You're the one who started it. You're the one who started it. It wasn't me.
That's what I'm saying. You got to save some for next time.
I got plenty of them.
Did
I tell you about the time I almost cut my arm off? No, not really. Well, I can show you. I do have where's that camera at? If you look, well, how do I turn my hand? You see right from right here, where is it at? Right from right there, all the way down to right there is a scar. We were putting the roof on our church when we were building it. It was pouring down raining, and everybody had quit, and except me and the pastor. We were up there still working in a flooding down raining, and I had a handsaw, and I was trying to cut a board, and it came off of the board and went right across my finger right there, and I almost cut my thumb all the way off. And I looked at it, and the pastor looked at me, and I just grabbed my shirt, ripped it off, and I tied it around it, and I finished cutting the board off, and got down out of the thing, and waited for the rain to stop. We went back up and finished getting the plywood put on. We could keep the rain from getting in the building. And later that evening, I went to the doctor, and it took 14 stitches across my thumb to put it back together.
They want to hear some Wanda stories? Mine ain't that interesting. I have never had a broken bone in my body that I know of. I have had no surgeries except when I finally had that. I really wasn't surgery that I had a couple of years ago. That was just a colonoscopy procedure. I don't do things that I break myself and get into situations.
Oh.
I was a good little girl that didn't do all that kind of stuff, and I sat around and read books. I mean, I'm boring.
Oh, yeah.
I'm boring compared to him. Boring.
Yeah, I lived on the edge my whole life. Literally, I lived on the edge.
I could tell my kids stories, but not me stories. I mean, things my kids maybe did, but I was boring. I'm telling y'all, boring.
I didn't fear anything. You know, I had no fear of anything. I honestly believe that that God would protect me no matter what I did. You know, and that's right. I used to drive race cars. I'd run race cars up to 150, 165, 70 miles an hour. Didn't bother me a bit in the world, you know. And you can ask Wanda, I drag raced in reverse.
He still can drive backwards fast as he can go forward. Ask me how I know, because I'm going, stop!
Wanda, hang on. I can drive as fast backwards as most people can forward. You know, because I drag raced in reverse. And
he still can do it, but I'm going, slow down, stop, don't.
And I was also trained how to take vehicles at high speeds and spin them and slide them around in roads. And
ask Jennifer how she knows.
You can ask my daughter. She's on here. My daughter will tell you. So, you know,
yeah, he's more than opposites attract. Yeah, obviously. We're both the oldest. We're both OCDs, all get out.
Yeah.
And we like things done. But that's where a lot of differences come in. He has multiple projects, and they're all open at one time. I want to finish something, and it drives me crazy. So I'm sitting here going, I just need him to finish this, and he does to a certain extent, and then he goes over here and works on this, and I'm going, but I want this finished, and I want that finished, but then we got this going. I like to see something finished.
God has been really good to me. The one thing that God has always granted me is whatever the desire of my heart is, He's always given it to me. Now that can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing. You know.
Danny wasn't a police officer.
I've not been
friends with quite a few, but
I'm friends.
got him out of jail.
I'm friends with a lot of officers. Let me say that. And I have worked with one of the 3-letter agencies before, but I'm not.
He wasn't the one working. He dealt.
I
with them.
dealt
not
with
that
them.
He worked with.
I dealt with
them.
them.
That's not what he meant.
And I'm good friends with tons of.
He used to know all the cops. They've all kind of shifted gears now. We're friends with the sheriff.
I'm friends with the sheriff now. I've been friends.
We didn't know him to start with, but we're getting to know him.
I've known every sheriff in my town since I was a small kid, personally. I've usually know most of the officers that are working the sheriff's department and stuff like that personally.
But this was the first time we didn't. He didn't really know him, but we're getting to know him a little better. Yeah. One or two of the deputies. Most of the older deputies have retired. Yeah,
most of the people that I knew and grew up with have all retired and moved on. So I don't get out as much as I used to. And when we elected a new sheriff into our town, the first thing I did was make sure that he knew who I was, And Wanda and I's been in with him we've sat with him and talked with him, and
he's a good guy.
He seems like a good, godly man.
Until he proves he ain't.
Yeah, till he proves something different to me.
He seems to be doing good by our county right now.
I have his personal cell phone number. So he trusted us enough to give us his personal number. Lots of people don't like the law. I believe in being really good friends with the law.
And respecting them until they prove otherwise.
Now, let me put it to you this way. I know some law officers that are the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
Literally. That's the scum of the earth. And I know some law officers that are as good a godly people as you'll ever meet in your life. Now, I'm very good friends with the Game and Fish Commissions, know them really well. Matter of fact, had some out here at my property here a while back.
I think he retired, didn't he?
And he retired.
Since
then he's retired. So
it's getting to where when you're older, you kind of have it. All right, we got to go. We've been on here 30 minutes.
We got 30 minutes long. We should. I got to go hunt a possum or an armadillo or something. I
had your one for tonight.
I know I got one possum tonight, but you never know. There might be another one.
Oh, there's more.
There might be another one.
I think there's a little raccoon around the pond. Remember?
There is. Yeah, we was at the pond this afternoon. We saw little coon tracks around the edge of the dirt there. So I told her, I said, I got another raccoon. I got to try to get out.
And y'all, I don't know what's up with these ads. YouTube keeps changing how they do, and y'all are saying that they're splitting the screen with an ad and us, but yet it kills our sound. That must be something new because I've not watched any live streams in a while.
I don't know what your shirt says.
Made for more.
Ephesians 2:10.
So that's, that's one of those things that, we just got to work toward.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Y'all have a blessed weekend and a blessed day tomorrow, and we will see y'all in the next video.